Welcome to Pili
Raúl
and La Musica,
supported by
United Airlines,
Shure Microphones,
and Jack Daniels. For more information, follow us at Pili, Raúl, and La Musica.
How do you introduce a band such as Santa Cecilia, a band that originated right here in Los Angeles, a band that we've been following for a very long time, who started in 2007? It's been about 12 years now, right?
Uh-huh.
A band that mixes so many genres to come up with their own extremely unique sound. They're Grammy Award winners, and they've collaborated with Elvis Costello, with Bumburi, Mon Laferte, just to name a few. So we're truly in the presence of music geniuses at Santa Cecilia.
Thank you.
¿Qué te tomas?
¿Qué se toman, compañero?
Tráiganle otra la negra, por favor.
Hombre.
Come on, tell me you've never been called a music genius.
Jack Daniels for everyone.
All drinks on Pili, everybody. So, 7 albums. Congratulations. This is the 7th?
7 already?
Already. Oh my God.
Híjoles.
Yeah, it's been...
Ya perdimos la cuenta.
¿Verdad?
Yeah, no, I mean, man, what a blessing, to be able to create music for 12 years, no? Going on 13 years, and to be able to record, to be recording artists and to share our music, our ideas, our stories. We're happy, man. Y lo que falta.
Y lo que falta.
Y lo que
Todavía sigue
falta,
muchísimo.
cabrón.
So, the first introduction for me with you, a very prominent LA house music DJ, passed me your music and said, you got to check out this voice and these musicians. And I'm all like, wow, and you're into this kind of vibe. He goes, oh, well, good music is good music, and it transcends across. So now you guys are just on top of the
I
world.
remember that actually when you started playing Jack. I
Jack?
think it was, off our first
Jack and La Negra,
EP.
yeah.
It was like our little demo that we had hand painted and stuff. And
Exactly.
and
It's
you were
a
playing it.
CDR that was passed on to me
Yeah,
that has like scribbles
someone
on
sent
it.
us a message like on MySpace. And they were like, they played you on KCRW. And I was like, whoa, crazy. We were
Yeah,
freaking
it
out.
was
yeah.
Jerry Meraz, who's the producer of the Power Tools show, which is an after-hours mix show on Power 106.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
all like, oh, you got to check out this crew called La Santa Cecilia. And
out,
back
really.
then, I think you guys might have still been busking right there on Olvera Street and all that kind of stuff. So I guess give us a little background when it all started for you guys.
Pues La Santa Cecilia started, like 12 years ago. We were all playing music in bands, and Pepe and I have known each other since we were teenagers. Entonces, we were already playing boleros and a lot of traditional music, tocando en bodas, en velorios, en quinceañeras. Y El Oso y Alex también, ¿no? Tocaban en grupos de salsa and did all those gigs. So we were all thankfully and luckily already working in music. But I know that I felt that I wanted to write songs. I wanted to not just be like the background music for a party, but to like give a show, and to talk about things that I felt inside. And I would tell that to Oso, and I would sing songs to Oso that he would like bear with me. Like, me aguantaba, hey, tengo esta canción, no se escucha, y también Pepe. But we decided that we wanted to make a band and that we wanted to create a band where we could experiment, where we could songwrite, and where we could, just go somewhere else, and travel and play. We were friends. We hung out with each other already, and we just wanted to create something out of our friendship, out of writing, and we just started, no?
It took time though, man. It was,
Yeah.
we were like trying since like 2004 or 5, and I would bring musician friends of mine from school or whatever. I went to Cal Cirale, that's where I met Alex. And they'd be like, "Yo, yeah, she has a great voice. So are you down?" Nah, I don't think so. It's like it just went like back and forth forever. And then Marisol was like, "Hey, man, I know these brothers, and they play with me at Placita and stuff." And then that's how we met. Pepe, we did a show at the House of Blues where we rehearsed like 2 weeks for 20
Playing
minutes,
boleros.
playing boleros and stuff. It was just us. It was 3 or 4 of us on stage with playing boleros at the House of Blues. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to start.
Yeah.
And you know what, it came about because being a musician in the city, it's easy, like, you want to work, you want to get the gigs, you want to get paid, you got to pay the rent and stuff. So it's not that easy to find musicians that are willing to invest their time and their time in rehearsing, their time in songwriting, their time in doing gigs that are to promote yourself. You know what I mean? Like not every musician wants to just do free gigs or play fundraisers and really invest their time in something that'll be like original. I feel like blessed de que nos encontramos and that we were all like, all right, dude, let's do this. Tuesdays and Thursdays we're rehearsing. On the weekends we're gigging, and if we can make this, like a fundraiser or whatever, we would, and we did. So I'm happy that we were able to like see it through and really make something out of nothing, I feel,
Well, and nobody necessarily understands your vision. Nobody might get your idea at that moment. Now they're like, oh my God, I wish I would have been part of that band. Look where I would be now. But back then, maybe they were like, that's not the type of music that I want to play.
It's hard, and maybe we started with other bandmates, and as you go and like the gigs get farther, or touring, or the money gets tough, it really shows who's really gonna stay and see this through and see this baby through, and thankfully it's been us four, since 12 years ago, y aquí estamos, y siempre unidos, que es lo que. Man, what I'm so grateful for, de que somos familia y nos peleamos como hermanos, pero luego nos contentamos y seguimos en las andadas, Yeah.
Do you guys remember any of those first songs that you would sing for Oso? Were they any good?
Yeah, one of them was like
La Negra.
like the beginning of Chicle.
Oh, Chicle.
That we later changed, and Jack was one of the first songs that.
Oh, that
I would get stuck, so I would like write like over 2 chords and write the beginning or the chorus, and then I would be stuck.
You had like a little shitty keyboard. Remember the Casio one or something?
But you know what? We were working at this radio station, and I still remember Marisol coming in. It was the 3 of us, my brother and Marisol, and we were doing this on air. What would you call it? Like parodia.
Se llamaba De Regreso a Casa. We would do this radio show where we would sing the news and tell the news, and the host, El Chubidú, would write over the songs. He's a radio host de aquí de Los Ángeles. I'm sure muchos lo conocen o lo han escuchado. And he would take off the songs of like El Aventurero or like traditional songs, put the news in, and then every morning we'd come and learn these songs and learn the new lyrics and sing them for 3 hours on air. So we were doing 3 hours on the air, the weekend gigs, and then I still wanted us to write songs.
For gratis.
For free. Yeah.
But you know what? Now that I think about it, and going back to these times, La Negra, that was one of the first songs that I remember Marisol showing us, that it was up in the air and everything, right?
In the air with 2 chords, like le faltaba, pues.
Hey, but they were the strong 2 chords.
No, but I still, it was D minor.
A minor and D minor.
D minor, yeah, that's his favorite chord.
It had something different, like from a traditional cumbia, and now going back at it and like playing it is a little different, and it is kind of an LA sound or something. Pero it took us a while to understand it
because you were learning how to play the accordion and how to play cumbias in that time, right?
No, but him and his brother were very like to themselves, so like you couldn't get anything past them. So you'd be like, hey, Pepe, this and that, and then him and his brother would console each other.
We say no.
Yeah, exactly. It was so funny. It was the funniest shit ever, man. And that's how they would do everything, So Marisol would always be like, "Hey guys, this song," and they'd be like, "Yeah, okay, let's do the work, and then we'll worry about your little song afterwards."
But thankfully, one day we invested our time in doing the songs, and we started. And Pepe started playing the accordion. His brother Beto started playing the bass. He wasn't a bass player, and we started making La Santa Cecilia and working on these songs, on our free time, and that's how it just kind of. Turned into La Santa Cecilia after all these years.
When was the time that you realized that you were getting bigger, that you were actually La Santa Cecilia, the band?
Still hasn't happened.
No, I mean,
We're like
I
constantly,
remember
like,
seeing you guys at
searching,
La
you know?
Cita,
Oh,
little
man.
spots at
Yo
La
creo que
Cita.
La Cita.
But then now we're
La
seeing you
Cita.
at the Hollywood Bowl and all over the world.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
I mean,
Things
you're
are
playing at
happening.
festivals.
Yeah, things are
Hollywood
happening.
Bowl. Yes.
Pero I feel like de todas maneras, like, okay, there is moments, but I feel like we always in this band always kind of remember to take the blessings and take the moments that we get, and then los tenemos que dejar para seguir adelante, like to keep, like, you know, we're still hungry for so much more and to take our music to so many other places. So I feel like in a sense we always think like we haven't made it yet, pero beautiful moments of like feeling like you did make it are moments like La Cita, like when we played La Cita, and then we started noticing that people were like making a line outside to come to Mucho Wednesdays on a Wednesday night, like tonight, you know, to come see La Santa Cecilia, you know, do their thing. So definitely those nights at La Cita really showed us that, like, I think there's a place for us, and I think that there's people that feel the same way as us, that love traditional music, that love rock and roll, that love alternative music, that love pop, that love rancheras, and we found those people, no, nos conectamos y encontramos a esa gente, and those shows at La Cita are like unforgettable, and you can see some of them on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Jam-packed house,
you know,
everybody sweaty in
just-
there
I
and
love
having a good
those. I
time
miss
just dancing.
those
Yeah.
sometimes.
Marisol crowd surfing.
Yeah, man. There's an awesome photo. Like,
Oh, your feet
Those
are
are
on the
the-
ceiling.
yeah, man.
Kicking all the little Christmas lights down. If you know
I
the
love
La
it.
Cita, you know,
I
that's
love
all the
those
little lights at
days.
the bar.
That was really exciting.
So that was La Cita is one of those moments where we were like, oh shit, I think like we're onto something here, you know?
Well, and it's great to hear that the hustle is still like burning, you know, that you guys
huevo.
are constantly pushing forward. I mean, let's talk about this new album real quick, just because it's a little bit of a different direction, and you guys are going like maybe into different genres, you know, not just the boleros, not just the cumbias, but just really like taking it to a new sound or the new evolution of La Santa Cecilia.
Yeah. I mean, in this album, like it's self-titled, it's called La Santa Cecilia because we've never had a self-titled album. Siempre ha sido como, and it's been very much like what we write as a band is very much influenced and inspired by life, no? Nos inspira la vida, lo que estamos pasando. So, you know, like we did 30 Días, and 30 Días was about living our dreams, but still like freaking out about every month about paying the rent, you know? And, you know, like every album has the title has something to do with us, with our life. And I feel like this one was, we just wanted to be like, this is who we are right now. This is what we've gone through. We've gone through some shit. And this is what happens when you go through something and you just want to talk about it. You want to sing about it. And, pues sí, por eso le pusimos La Santa Cecilia, pero it's coming from an album like Amar y Vivir, que es un disco muy tradicional. And what? I don't know. It's sad. You know,
Sad,
like we've
yeah,
gone through
it's
some
sad.
stuff, man, you know, like
Life.
like we've gone through life. Yeah, it's like 12 years of being a band. And how do you, like, one day you wake up and you're like, I'm not shiny and new anymore. And the way that I see life or the way that I see the music business is not the same. I'm not the same bright-eyed, wide-eyed girl or band that we used to be. So, but I think that que nuestra fuerza siempre ha sido de escribir desde un lugar que es honesto y desde un lugar que es pues de la vida misma. Entonces, I feel like this song is very bittersweet, but also very hopeful. And, no sé, don't leave me hanging over here. Like,
No, I
what
think that
else?
like it's weird. I mean, we were talking to a friend of ours, Felix Contreras from NPR, and we were talking to him about the album, and one of the things that I found really interesting was that on Amar y Vivir, it was like there's even like in the promo package there was a letter to my father thanking him, like, oh man, like thank you for giving me a Julio Jaramillo record when I was 12 years old, and for buying me Bongo, and telling me like, oh, these are the great artists you need to listen to and stuff. And so that Amar y Vivir was like the legacy of our parents and what they gave to us, and so that was a huge deal for us, right? And then on this album, La Santa Cecilia, Alex, Marisol, and myself lost our fathers in less than like 10 months. So back to back, it just happened, right? So it's like they gave us that tradition, and then like it was gone, right? So then we kind of self-titled the album because it's like a new beginning as well, you know, like something completely different, something completely new. But it's also not, because it's so part of the DNA of the band. You know what I mean? Like since the beginning, if people remember going to the first shows and the first records, it's always been about mixing genres, about singing in English and in Spanish, about representing what it's like to be a bicultural person in the city of Los Angeles and beyond the city of Los Angeles. So I think it's very much like returning to the beginning of the band, but in a completely new way, in the sense that it's all in English. I mean, we've always mixed it, so it's kind of, you know, interesting.
And you have some Spanish in there. You have some words.
I feel like like the language of La Santa Cecilia still comes out. Like se oye todavía, aunque la canción sea la mejor en inglés, que se oye el acordeón, se oye la cumbia, like todavía está ahí nuestra raíz o la esencia de lo que somos, you know. It's just in English, but that's how it is, you know. Like some days you're like all in English, and some days you're in Spanish, and some days you're in Spanglish, y siempre cambiándonos de canal así.
Well, there's been that journey that you guys have gone through, like you were saying at the beginning, you know, where when you guys started to where you guys are at now. But there's been some pretty pivotal characters in your career, and Sebastian, who is in the house, one of your producers, who helped out with getting you guys to a Grammy. Right, you guys actually won the Grammy. When was that? In 2014. Yeah. So,
but we did our first record with him, the Nochecitas, right? Mm-hmm. La Negra got nominated for Best Tropical Song, right? In the Latin Grammys. And we're like, what the fuck? Like a tropical song? We're Puerto Rican and shit, you know?
That was awesome, though.
Yeah, it was cool. So we were like, I don't know who we were, like with Willy Colon or some shit. It was really weird.
Con Gilberto Santa
Rosa, Ruben Blades and shit. And it was like, what the hell are we doing?
Hey,
but
you
it
guys
was great.
Are there. That's what it's about.
And it's crazy because we've gotten like all these nominations in like all these different categories. Like it's just been all over the place, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. It's pretty fun, you know?
Well, it's tough to put you guys into that one little box, you know, because there's so many different genres, so many different styles.
I remember the first time that I interviewed La Santa Cecilia. It was for my TV show Te Para Tres, and the first day that we recorded with you guys, we went to Sebastian Cris. He's here. He probably will not want to raise his hand because he's very humble. Pero Sebastian, where are you?
He's hiding
over there.
Sebastian,
amazing producer and human being. But we were recording at his studio, and I walk in, and Sebastian was so serious, and I was so intimidated by Sebastian. But we had such a beautiful conversation. You too. You know, he's been such a pivotal part of your career as La Santa Cecilia. How has he shaped your sound?
Pues a Sebastián lo conocimos around the Cita days. We were doing La Cita, and I remember we were doing like, there was an open, a BMI roundtable thing happening at
Let me give them
Cohen.
a background. Sebastian has won multiple Grammys, and I believe 17 Latin Grammys as a producer.
Un chingo de Grammys.
He's like, I think the number one or the second most Grammy Award winner producer. So, he's kind of like a big deal.
Yeah.
So I just needed to give them a context of who we're talking about.
Hell yeah. Pero bueno, we played this round table, and I remember we weren't even going to make it to this round table because we had just made the band and we forgot. Thank God.
Forgot that you had a round table with BMI?
Yeah, Marisa Gastelum, you know, we know and love, a great friend to us, called us. She's like, oh yeah, you're doing this round table, right? Like you're coming, I'm waiting for you. We're like, oh shit, fuck, we gotta go. Y llegamos ahí and we met Sebastián and we played. I remember it was a round table and we got the last spot because we got in late and we were like in the middle pero Sebastián escuchó la música. We sold our little demos and he just started coming around and he was like, hey, I want to work with you guys and we were like, yeah, right, dude, this guy, like,
you know how many times I've heard that?
Yeah, you know, pero actually no, we hadn't actually. We were just like, yeah, right, you know, like we don't even know what we are, you know, but it was so nice that he, you know, he'd come and see us at La Cita, he'd come and watch us play and you know, I don't know if he really understood what we were, but I love that he was so into it and so down to to help us grow and to express ourselves and to kind of form the sound of course, form the sound of La Santa Cecilia. And we did Nochecitas with him. And I remember we said we were gonna it was like he was so busy. He's a busy, like record producer, and we're this band that's just trying to grow. And
So we threatened them.
yeah, we're just gonna record this album, man. We're gonna go in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, we're gonna go in the studio with or without you.
We
like
saved
we thought
money.
we were somebody.
We're just gonna
go
do this. And he's like, well, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and we did it in like 2 days, right? Like in a day.
A day. We recorded it in a day. Yeah. And we would like suggest things to him, like, hey, we should try this and do that. And I think he had a very clear vision of like he didn't want to change our sound too much. Like he wanted to keep our sound as much as possible. And he helped us a lot in understanding what it's like to make records and be studio musicians and take our songwriting serious and shit like that, So I think, like, even on this last record, we kept telling him, like, oh, you're like the fifth member of the band, because he has been throughout the majority of our recordings.
Yeah.
And it's like we come in with the song ideas and some melodies and some, whatever ideas we do have, and then he just takes them to another level, you know what I mean? So it's like it's been a huge blessing for us, for sure.
Sí, wow. And we love him, and like he's like the fifth member of the band, Y nos peleamos también a veces, pero hemos crecido juntos, nos ha enseñado muchísimo, and like if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
right,
And it's
sure.
really important when you get to find people that you can vibe with and live with and be friends with and also create with.
Without being preachy, you guys have used your platform to send a message, and there's two pivotal songs in the trajectory of La Santa Cecilia. There's El Hielo. Do you guys remember that song with that beautiful video that talks about immigration? And now there's I've Been Thinking, which obviously talks about the passing of your parents. Is that a perfect example of how therapeutical music can be?
Yes, even though sometimes you don't know that it's therapy, but yes, because when we were writing songs for 30 Días, we talked about wanting to write a song that spoke about what was going on with us, because we were signing with Universal Latino. We were getting asked to play South by Southwest. We were, being able to play in San Antonio and Colorado, and not all of us had the proper documentation to travel. Entonces, Pepe was undocumented at the time, so it was a risk, to go out, not just to chase your dreams and to go out, but truly, for him to go out and risk himself, to go to San Antonio, to go to Austin, to go to South by Southwest, to do shows like this. Entonces, yo creo que en ese momento que teníamos que talk about the elephant in the room and what we were living as a band, as a group, and what our bandmate was going through, seeing his dreams
so close yet so far away.
Yeah, So we wrote that song, and it felt like that,
It was such a crazy moment during those days, because I was in the back of my head, or somewhere in my head, I was like, you know what, should I just step out of the band and let them go on with their dreams, because it felt like I was holding someone back. And it's unfortunate that we live in this country where you're here to fulfill your dreams and everything, and y algo te está deteniendo. And it's kids like me, and it wasn't only myself. It was so many, 11 million, que estábamos en la misma situación, that we were all in the same situation. And that's how we realized that it's unfortunate as Latinos, as kids of parents that were undocumented, to carry on with this, because it wasn't only myself, it was our parents, our tios, someone in some kind of way had dealt with a coyote or dealt with immigration. I mean, now that I can thank the band, that we all stuck together and we were all like, yeah, Pepe, we got to continue on with the dream, and here we are. And I think it's one of these things that we just can't forget, though, that there's still kids in cages, and it's so sad with our administration right now that we all come from different places. We all deserve to fulfill our dreams.
But it was probably one of the most powerful moments, I think, for the band when we sat down with Claudia Brandt, the songwriter, and we started talking about what Pepe's talking about, and man, the song came out fast. Like, it came out fast. And I think what everyone in the band, being an immigrant or dealing with immigration, or like Pepe said, having a phone call at 2:00 in the morning, no, que el coyote tiene tu tío, tenemos que ir por él en San Isidro y tenemos que pagar $2,000. Like, it just becomes so normal. Like, you don't even think about that being an issue, or it's just such a normal thing to experience as an immigrant or a child of an immigrant. And so when we wrote the song, it just, like, I remember we wrote, and everyone was crying in the room. Like, we were just in tears, like, and we realized that in that moment that something really powerful had happened. And we were scared to put it out because it was our debut album on Universal Latino, and we were like, fuck, like, we're coming out with this album. Are we going to come out with this, like, very political kind of, like, heavy statement? Or and also, like, you know, that was going to put Pepe in the limelight in terms of, you know, people were going to find out about his situation. So it was even double scary for us to put the song out. But it really changed everything for us, really.
Yeah.
And it taught us the power of sharing your story, no? Of using music, like as therapy, to let go of, to share your feelings, to share your story, and also in a way to connect with other people that are going through the same thing. And that's something that a song like El Hielo has taught us, and it still does. And even though it's harder to sing now because of how things have become even worse and you feel impotent, but you travel to a city like San Antonio, or you travel to North Carolina, and you meet people that are out there working, that are out there fighting, that are lawyers, that are organizers, that are working at places that are trying to help these people. So you remember that your voice is important, and that you have to continue to stand your ground and to speak your voice, as hard and as difficult as the times may be right now, you know? Because I know, I don't know about you, but I feel like shit. I feel impotent. I feel angry. I feel scared too, you know, in the times that we live in, and the administration that we're under, no?
Well, you guys are in a very important moment in time, and your music is definitely crossing boundaries. How do you see your music kind of transcending the generations and the cultures? You know, maybe to the younger people as well as to the older generation, that, you know, the tios and the tias and the parents and the grandfathers.
We saw it from the beginning. Like, we'd get, like, little kids coming up, you know, not little kids, but they were, like, you know, 14, 15, and they'd be like, my mom showed me your music, and I really like it, and I just want to say thank you, and my mom wants to say hi, can she take a picture? And it was like that, like, it still happens all the time. All the time, abuelitos and kids and parents and everybody shows up to the show. So it's like, we don't really have a specific demographic. It's like all over the place sometimes.
Well, man, I've been at KCRW for 30 years, and and
hey, I remember, bro.
Yeah, I know. We all remember. Oh, if it's for me, I'm not here.
Hello.
Hi.
Do. We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
No, but you I've played a chingo of artists over the years on KCRW, and for my mom to gravitate to one artist, the first artist that she ever gravitated, because she listens to the station and my show in particular, but the first artist that she gravitated to was La Santa Cecilia. Like, she was mesmerized by you guys. She goes, I want to meet Marisol, I want to meet Oso, I want to meet Pepe, I want to meet, you know, Alex.
I love your mom.
Yeah,
she's
your mom's really nice.
So she took me you got to take me to their show. I made this like little, you know, blanket for her little one. And
she made a little mañanita. Your mom made a mañanita, a beautiful pink mañanita for my daughter that I love, and I still keep, okay? Because that was the sweetest thing, dude. Your mom, you know, like, that's the best, that our music can be shared between you and your mom, and you know, and as strange as we feel sometimes, because I feel like sometimes we're out of place, but when we get to see the crowd and we see, you know, cabecitas blancas, arruguitas, jóvenes, you know, that's it, man. Like, we get to share with, you know, with different generations, and hopefully they're sharing us, and we can connect and play music for everyone. Eso es lo más bonito, porque para mí los momentos más bonitos han sido los que comparto con mi familia en la música, right? Whether you're dancing on Thanksgiving or you're dancing en Nochebuena, después de la cena, estás con tu familia en los momentos donde está la música y tus seres queridos, you know? So to me, that's like the best, man. You know, we're not ageist in this band. We're like all inclusive in every sense of the word, of age, color, race. Thank you.
But we love that you even like poke jabs at like the younger generation in social media with Winning on the new album, which is such a fun song.
Can I just say that
Here
you
it
guys
comes.
owe me royalties because the
Oh,
first.
they know it.
Nos
They know.
cachaste.
What happened?
If you guys haven't heard the new album, La Santa Cecilia, there's a song in there called Winning that talks about social media. And the very first phrase of the song
What is it?
says, I wear rainbows as skirts.
That was you?
That was me!
Yeah.
So what they did,
shit.
well, you
I
explain
loved
what
it.
you did. You explain what you did.
No, well, we just, we went online and we were with Sebastian and we're like, let's go, let's just write a song off what we're watching on social media. And you had just posted a photo about yourself in a rainbow skirt, which, by the way, I totally loved and liked.
I was going to wear it tonight.
You should have.
Tonight.
I haven't been able to find a rainbow skirt, like I want
I will
one.
send you all the info on my rainbow skirt.
And so we decided to open with that, where I wear rainbows as skirts,
And I love that. So I'm like, listen, Sebastian had kind of told me, he's like, we're doing this and you might have.
Just a heads up.
But I didn't know what it was. And then I'm listening to the album and I hear Winning and the very first phrase says, I wear rainbows as skirts. And I'm like, that's me!
She told me right away because I wanted to play the song. Then I was going through the lyrics. I'm like, ooh, there's a couple of naughty words in the song I can't play. But then Sebastian came through. I go, Sebastian, I need a radio edit, because there's a... And he immediately came
I've
through,
been looking for for my names on the credits and I can't find it.
Sorry.
Sorry, Pili.
Check is in the mail, as they say, right?
I'll keep waiting.
Give it up for La Santa Cecilia, everybody.
Hombre, thanks.
We got to go this way.
Thank you.
So we will open up the floor in a little bit for some questions from this beautiful audience. But for every artist that we have here at Room No. 7, we have Las Siete Preguntas. So these are going to be rapid fire. So don't think about it too much. But
Oh, damn.
you want to start, Pili?
No estoy pensando.
Okay.
Está
Okay.
bien.
So
Shoot.
don't think about it too much. What is your pre-show ritual? Algo que creas que te da suerte, así
Mezcal.
antes del escenario.
Mezcal.
Mezcal.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Every time.
Totally. Every time.
¿Y por qué?
We love
Porque el mezcal es pura vida, oye.
That's our ritual. We don't do prayers or anything. We just cheers with mezcal and we go for it.
But it's cool that tonight it's been Jack Daniels. So thank
Hey,
you for changing
today,
it
yeah,
up a
but
little
today
bit.
está chido, yeah. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Jack. We like Jack. Okay, so the first album that you bought, borrowed, maybe stole?
First album, Whitney Houston. I got it at the warehouse. It was an LP. It was the peach one. And it was the song Greatest Love of All. And that shit was like, blew my mind as a kid. I think I was like 8. And I saved my money for this LP and got it at the warehouse.
I bought
at the mall.
Moonflower by Santana.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. It was a double album. Watch it.
You just stepped it up a couple levels. I know it.
Damn,
Who put on your Whitney?
Hey, Whitney's awesome. Man.
Los cadetes de Linares, pistoleros famosos.
Of course.
Puro éxitos ahí. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh. Yeah.
See, I love that question because every time we ask that question, the band just has like, everybody has such a different taste. And then you're like, how did you all get together?
You should go on the road with us and see the fighting of the radio.
Is that an invitation? We'll go.
Vamos.
Vámonos. The band's ready, right?
Come on the road.
right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, everybody, let's go.
Bring your own playlist. And get ready to get shot down by Oso.
We lose. We all lose.
Okay, who is your musical crush and why? And this could be a woman, a man, dead, alive, whatever.
Musical crush.
And it could be because you like them physically or you just like love how they write or sing or play an instrument.
Damn.
¿Sabes qué? Ahorita sí, como está así bien flash, I came to my friend Guido's house who lives like across the street and he was showing me Luis Enrique y C4 trio and that is so beautiful.
We're
Y además
actually
que está
interviewing
bien-
him on Friday.
Yeah, they're going to
man.
be an upcoming guest on
Lucky.
Pili Raúl.
He's so good
nice.
and great songwriter y pues está bien guapo.
And he's sexy, muy guapo, muy guapo.
Totally.
That's a good one.
Luis Enrique.
Damn.
Even I can appreciate how guapo he is.
Thanks, Guido.
I've always had a crush on Alicia Keys, bro. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
man.
I think everyone has a crush on her.
Yeah, I know.
She's gorgeous.
I can
and
include myself in
talented.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's.
Well, I had a crush on Whitney Houston for a long time, man. I saw a bodyguard and I was like, man, I want to be a bodyguard.
Forget the bass.
A mí me gusta la muchacha que sale en This Is Us. ¿Cómo se llama? Mandy Moore.
But it was about music. Oh, yeah. Okay.
She used to
Okay,
She used to sing.
Okay.
Cantan sus sueños.
Para que vean que el Pepe es bien ecléctico. You know,
We're
Like-
catching on.
like from This Is Us to Cadetes de Linares, cabrón. Eso es ser bicultural.
All right.
Oh, man, that's great.
I'm excited to hear the responses to this next one then. All right. If you guys can time travel to any era of music, which one would it be?
Oh, man. Híjoles.
I would definitely do the 70s. Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Santana, Zeppelin, all that stuff, man. You know what I mean? For me.
To the time where I can see José Alfredo Jiménez, Chabela Vargas, Lucha Villa, and Tintán. Like that time, 40s, 50s, maybe. Yeah.
80s, Los Bookies.
You were born in the 80s.
You can still see Marco Antonio Solis. That's no problem.
Hey,
You can still see him, bro.
You were alive, bro.
you can
you were
still
alive.
see him.
It's all good. The present.
I guess I would say the 50s, man. Elvis Presley, you know, the rock and roll, man. Like, you know, the guitar, all the stuff was my favorite.
Nice.
You can still play now, you know.
Any good backstage anecdote, and it could be about you as a band or like you backstage with at a festival where you saw someone else or another band like going crazy, just like any backstage anecdote.
Man, Marisoul.
Take us there with you.
There's a one rule in this band. The only rule in this band is if we're gonna be in a green room together and there's a bathroom, don't shit in the bathroom. Okay? We're always there before the door's open. Go to the hall and shit in the multiple shitters there, please. Okay? That's the only. So
That's the only
there's only
backstage
one
rule?
bathroom here, guys. So that fucking rule applies here, okay? No shitting in Jack or Ginger's bathroom.
Marisol has spoken.
I can imagine you're the one who set that rule.
A huevo.
Okay. All right. So, wow. I love it. I won't go poop.
Yeah,
All right,
you don't want to do that, bro.
I don't want to do that now. All right. So we're here at room number 7 having whiskey drinks. And by the way, the menu is on point with all your song titles. It's really, really good.
I love it.
Is there anybody dead or alive that you would love to go have a drink with?
Oh, man. Of course. Bueno, I mean, of course, my dad, you know? Like, I miss that guy.
Yeah.
I only lost him in February, and con él me eché unas borracheras hermosas. Yeah, I would
I think
say
all,
my
I think
dad.
all of us want to get drunk with their dad again. Actually, yeah, he was something else. He was a character, man. That guy was like,
Everyone wants to get drunk with my dad.
yeah,
Your
'cause he,
dad.
Like, everyone wants
He
to have
was
a drink
like-
with my dad.
he had
He went on
like
tour with us.
he had stories that you would not. Ever seen what's that movie, Big Fish?
Yeah,
Or,
big
Big
fish.
Fish?
yeah, where at the end they all come to the funeral
Uh-huh.
and then everyone's like, oh shit, it was true. Like that's how he was. Like you would just.
Wow.
He's like, no, hijo, yo hablo pinche japonés, italiano. And I'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. We're drunk. Like, shut up, dude, right? And then all of a sudden he'd be speaking Japanese to somebody. You're like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
I actually, when we shot the Para Tres with La Santa Cecilia, as I was mentioning before, we went to La Plaza Olvera and I met your dad, and he was so funny and he was so very proud.
Like,
I'm
hola,
sure-
hola, mamita, ¿cómo estás, mi
Sí, I'm
nena?
sure que quiso ser tu novio.
Not
Like,
even
quería-
Vanessa warned me. She's like, "Be careful with my dad."
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Okay," but he was so proud of you. I remember interviewing him. I was like, how do you feel about your daughter? And he was just like, I'm so proud of her and what she's done. And yes,
Nice.
yes,
Thank you.
yes. So, okay, so your dad.
Yeah.
Think about and let us know, what is your biggest hit so far? And then we're gonna need a volunteer from the audience.
Like musical hit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
from
of
your
songs.
career, what is your biggest hit?
Well, what do you think is the
I think
biggest
it's
hit?
Como Dios Manda.
Como Dios manda.
Yeah.
I feel
that-
like I'm on the Newlywed Show. What's our biggest hit, Pepe? Are we in tune? What's our biggest hit, Alex?
Yeah, Como Dios Manda.
Como Dios
Everybody
Manda,
sings that
okay.
one.
Let me see if that's the right answer. Hold on. It is. Okay, yeah. Hey. You guys got the point.
We need someone from the audience. Adrian, okay. Could you please put 7 seconds, because we're in room number 7. You have 7 seconds to sing Como Dios Manda as fast as you can. 3, 2, 1, go.
Quiero ver el sol caer con la luna de las estrellas. Como Dios manda las nubes con el viento. Estar siempre contigo.
That was like the effect
that-
out. That was
That was a
Yo, I'm not sure about that version. Yo.
Hey, Jack isn't helping like to do this faster,
well, I think Jack helped a lot.
Yes, probably. Before we break to the Q&A, we want to start a new tradition here at Jack Daniel's room number 7.
Shot.
It could totally be a shot. But we would love for you guys to leave a question for the next artist that we're going to have here live.
Oh.
And we can't tell you who it is. It just has to be whatever question you want to leave for someone else who will be here in this space with us next
What's
month.
your favorite La Santa Cecilia song?
They're gonna be like, who? Who's that?
That's perfect. That's
All right.
awesome.
And I think you guys know who it is, but we'll leave it
Yes.
a surprise for now.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter. But now we know. So
Yeah.
we need to write it down. So
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
no, that's perfect. That's perfect.
All right.
La pinche vanidad.
Well,
Like, that's
See.
a good song.
now we're going to open it to you guys. Yes. Q&A, audience, you have the opportunity now to ask any questions, any comments, any
damn.
anecdotes that you guys have from La Santa Cecilia.
Only good
Oh,
ones.
there you go. There you go.
Good
Only good
anecdotes.
ones. Only good ones. Let's go.
No, huge fan. So I went to the Walt Disney Concert Hall show, and I'm just curious, how do you figure out, or how do you choose what set you want to do, or how do you want the stage to look? And obviously, it's a very conscious choice. So I'm very curious, and I'm super excited to meet you all. So thank you for having us, and thank you for being here. So yeah, I'm really curious, and I really want to know what inspires you all to kind of do this.
Well, when it comes to the shows, I'm like the band secretary and human copy machine. So I'm always the one at the last minute. Like, I know professional bands like have a set list made and they just print it out and add the date. And sometimes I find myself like, no, we need to change a song, or we need to put this or that, or what, we want to. So I always, most of the time, end up writing the set list and then writing 7 set lists, like
On graph
standards
paper.
on paper,
On
and
graph paper, like.
en lo que
like
sea,
geometry
cabrón.
paper, yeah.
Yeah, or napkins or whatever, and I don't know, it's just I feel like it's something that we like to do, even if it's sometimes it's like the set is very similar. It just gives me something to say, like we made the set list, we figured, okay, this is what's going on, and when it comes to the stage, like the Walt Disney Concert Hall, pues whenever we get invited to spaces like the Walt Disney Concert Hall, it's always very important to us to be able to take the audience on a ride and to share our culture and who we are. And I think the last Walt Disney Concert Hall show we had, it was like Dia de los Muertos, and we had calaveras, and we invited our friend Carlos Soltero to bring his big calaveras, and he made this gigantic calavera of me. And the people at the Walt Disney Concert Hall were like, what the fuck? What are we gonna do? We don't have
It was huge.
we don't have permits for this shit. But we made it work, and Cuco was supposed to play that night, and he was in an accident. Thankfully, he was safe and everything. But they asked us if we were thinking of bringing any guests, and right away we thought about el grupo de Maqueos, que es un grupo estudiantil de aquí de Koreatown, and they're all chavos. They're kids, from kids to teenagers, and they're playing Oaxacan music, música de viento. Pepe es amigo de ellos y nos conectó. And we thought we need to take advantage and connect an organization like Maqueo's Music with the Walt Disney Concert Hall in hopes that they get to see them and that we can build more bridges between community and spaces like the Walt Disney Concert Hall, you know? So, con intención y con mucho amor, you know? Siempre.
Very cool.
Sí.
I have an easy question, hopefully. Where can you get the best tacos in LA?
The best tacos in LA, I think, is hands down for us Sonora Town, yo.
Woo. Yep.
Sonora Town.
It's all about Sonora Town.
Yeah. It sucks because now everyone knows, so now there's just lines all the time. Pero bueno. Valen la pena, están bien ricos.
What's your favorite place that you've performed at?
Right here, right now.
Woo! There you go.
Porque estoy en buena compañía, mira, con ustedes, con Pili, con Raúl, con Jack, con Guiro, con Alegra, con todos ustedes. Because we're all here right now, you know. Quién sabe mañana dónde vayamos a estar, pero ahorita estamos aquí, vivitos y coleando.
Muchas gracias a Pili y Raúl, gracias a aquel espacio, Room No.7, y la Santa Cecilia. La verdad que nos llenan de mucho, mucho orgullo aquí en Los Ángeles. Estamos haciendo historia y la verdad, escuchándolos, cómo integran a la comunidad en sus conciertos, cómo están haciendo para todos nosotros como inmigrantes, están alzando la voz. Muchas gracias. Pero en este momento me gustaría preguntarles, ¿cuál sería la siguiente colaboración de la Santa Cecilia y alguna colaboración de ensueño? Any collaborations that you guys are like cooking right now?
Damn, I don't know, man. I haven't thought of anybody that I want to.
Are you serious,
right?
bro?
You know what? Lately I haven't. What can I say?
Okay, I'm going to tell you the ones that also tell me that he can't think of right now.
I can't think of it. Okay.
Juan Luis Guerra. Mandy Moore, ¿tú quieres colaborar con Mandy Moore? Pepe quiere colaborar con Mandy Moore. Someone said Jack White once. You know what?
El Recodo.
Con Banda El Recodo. No, yo creo que todos nos gusta de todo, and we're open to experiment with musicians, with artists that we love, that we admire, and also artists that we don't know. Entonces, y lo bueno de que hacer música es que the sky's the limit, ¿no? En la música te puedes encontrar con like we've been able to sing with Elvis Costello or with The Roots or with Eugenia León. Y eso yo creo que es la magia de la música, que te puede conectar con gentes de otro camino y de otros estilos musicales, you know? Yeah. Pero we'll see what the next collaboration is.
Right now we started a fan club called Rucos for Cucos. So we're big fans of Cuco's new album. Yeah, that's we played with them in El Paso for this El Paso Firme, and we were like geeking out on it. We're like, we're all fanning out on it. It was funny, man.
Your Cuco Puffs?
Yes.
For Cocoa Puffs, yeah.
Somos Rucos for Cuco.
The man of the hour, Sebastian, has a question.
Damn, dude.
So, Marisol.
Oh, Sebastian! Wrong.
Okay, so I've recorded pretty much every note that you've sung. So what goes on in yourself when you're singing? Like, what happens internally when you're singing?
Well, you've seen it.
No, I don't know. Listen, I just sit there.
You.
I just sit there and drink coffee and cry.
Are you gonna mansplain for me right now, cabron?
No, I suggested if I should mansplain for that.
No, but I'm curious. I'm curious what goes on in your soul, like in yourself. What happens when you sing?
I mean, most of the time when we're recording, I end up like cry singing everything, and you know that. You gotta like.
No, I know.
Not use all that cry singing, pero Pues es que, no sé, yo siento que vuelvo a vivir o que estoy viviendo lo que estamos cantando en ese momento. And that's why most of the time I always end up crying and screaming. And then you gotta tell me like, hey, focus. Because I just become a ball of sentimientos. Y a veces no los puedo controlar, pero lo bueno es de que trabajamos juntos tú y yo y por ahí encontramos lo que más se puede, what the best, I don't know, like what you can hear that is not like so fucked up and crying or, no sé, but I'm just, no sé, I'm feeling it, you know? What else can I say about that?
That was probably the deepest question we've had at Room No. 7 of any of our guests.
Thank you, Raúl and Pili, for the invitation. And I think, Marisol, you posed the question that you want to leave for the next artist, but I want to ask the band, what's your favorite Santa Cecilia song to perform and sing?
My favorite Santa Cecilia song to perform and sing right now, for me, is 1,000 Times, and it's a song off the new album. And because I feel that I'm blessed to be able to do what I love y de realizar mis sueños, pero eso no quiere decir que en mi vida cotidiana, que en mi vida normal, I don't feel sometimes like I've been chewed up and spit out by life, and I feel like I'm going to be making mistakes, I'm going to keep making mistakes, I'm growing, I'm going to feel down, and sometimes you got to get down to get high, you know? So that song, 1,000 Times, is what I love to sing right now because it's real, it's how I feel. A veces I'm down and out, but I'm still so hopeful and with the energy to get up and keep going, you know?
Well, there's two, but that I think maybe we've played them once. One's Caminante Nocturno, and then because when you were recording the demo for that, we were crying because we were like thinking about. It's kind of like about leaving your partner and having to go out and work and the kind of like the life we lived and leaving them behind constantly and stuff like that. So that song is beautiful. And then also Here We Go Again. I think it's a song that someone told me a story about this connection with that song. And I was like, whoa, crazy. I remember when you wrote that song too in the desert and stuff. So that, yeah, I think Caminante Nocturno and Here We Go Again. They're songs that I mean, we don't play, but they're beautiful.
For me, my favorite song is I've Been Thinking. I kind of compare it with Como Dios Manda. It's one of these powerful songs that are so simple but carry on such like deep inside soul, like with the lyrics and everything. So I've Been Thinking.
Alex, tú has hablado mucho,
cabrón. Dude, you're gonna have to end this show, man.
You have not stopped all night, dude. Like, I can't even get a word in.
Don't get me started now. I'm gonna say one song off our new record, which is called Dream, because it just reminds me how we just, we've been together for this long, and we just keep the dream going, man. We just keep creating, keep growing as people, and it's about keeping your dreams alive. No matter what you want to do in life, no matter what you love to do, just pursue it. Persevere at that and follow your dreams, dude.
Woo! Sabes palabras de Alex.
Everybody, please, gran aplausos para la Santa Cecilia right here at Room No. 7.
Gracias, Pili. Gracias,
Thank you guys
Raúl.
all so much
Thank
for
you.
coming through and spending some time with us and these beautiful people, and of course for Pili, Raúl, and La Musica. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And
Hombre,
continued
thank
success.
you guys for all your love and support. We love you too.
Once again, La Santa Cecilia, everybody.
Yes. Gracias.
Qué noche más mágica e inolvidable, Raúl. La verdad que la pasamos súper bien.
La Santa Cecilia, LA Darlings, so amazing.
By the way, you know that they have over 1 million streams?
Wow.
Yeah, so make sure to check them out and listen to them, support them.
And definitely check out their new record, self-titled, which is so good.
And talking about streams, this leads us to a very interesting statistic provided by our amigos at Nielsen.
Oh yeah, that Hispanic consumers are 29% more likely to use their smartphone to listen to online music streaming services.
That's awesome, and hopefully they use their smartphone as well to listen to us.
For sure.
Oye, and for more interesting facts like this, make sure de visitar nielsen.com/latinos.
Gracias for checking out our podcast.
Hey, and special thanks to Ulises El Licenciado Lozano for our amazing theme song.
Our mix and recording engineer, Mario Diaz.
Our artistic director, Dak.
And can't forget about our sponsors, Pili.
No, Raúl, United Airlines, Shure Microphones, and Jack Daniels, gracias for supporting La Música Latina.
And for more information and other episodes, be sure to subscribe to our podcast at Pili, Raúl, and La Música.
Hey, make sure to tell your tía, abuelo, primas, everybody to subscribe.
A todos.